On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu says security, welfare of Nigerians are his priorities. In business, National Conservation Foundation partners unveil initiative to combat deforestation. On the foreign scene, Israeli protest outside President's home against Netanyahu's pardon request. And in sport, Osimhen ready to risk Fenerbahce clash. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276. And now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu says the security and welfare of every Nigerian remains the sacred priorities of his government. He stated this in Lokwaja at the 10th Memorial Anniversary celebration of former Governor of Kogi State, Prince Abubakar Audu. Tinubu, who was represented by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said the administration had taken various steps to deliver on the priorities. And now to the health sector, where medical and dental practitioners investigating panel has filed a notice of appeal at Court of Abuja Appeal Division, challenging an FCT High Court judgment which set aside the interim suspension of Lagos-based Dr. Ferdinand Ejike Orji. The panel had referred Orji to the Medical and Dental Practitioners Disciplinary Tribunal to determine whether or not he was fit to practice following his conviction by the Lagos State High Court for professional negligence arising from his practice. The appeal stems from a suit in which panel chairman and the panel are appellant and Orji the respondent. And now to Imo State, where the government says it is taking steps to attract more investors to improve the economy of the state. One of such steps involves proper land administration, which is key to industrialization. Governor Hope Uzodinma made this known while commissioning a new digital platform that improves transparency in land management. Global Television correspondent Amarachi Ibe reports from Owerri.
The drive to rebuild investors' confidence in Imo State takes another step forward with the launch of the Imo Land Information Service Center, a digital platform that allows anyone to remotely verify the status of land across the state. Governor Hope Uzodinma says the system marks the end of years of land-related fraud, multiple sales, and what he called land grabbing, assuring residents and investors that the era of uncertainty is over.
Today, with due humility, marks the end of an ugly era, the era of corruption in a non-existent land administration system, the era of land grabbing, the era of stealing lands because you think it belongs to nobody.
Governor Uzodinma adds that the new platform forms part of broader reforms aimed at making Imo State a more reliable destination for private investment, noting that credible land documentation remains a key concern for businesses and developers.
Now to legislative matters, where the House of Representatives has held a major hearing on proposed amendments to the Nigerian anti-corruption laws, including the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act, as well as the ICPC Act. The bills seek to modernize asset declaration rules, strengthen oversight institutions, and address provisions which lawmakers describe as outdated or right infringing. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick has the details.
Inside the National Assembly, lawmakers, civil society groups, and anti-corruption agencies converged for a joint public hearing aimed at reviewing 3 amendment bills central to Nigeria's integrity framework. Top on the list was the move to overhaul the Code of Conduct Act, particularly provisions affecting asset declaration, age requirements for leadership positions, and the operational structure of anti-corruption bodies. A major point of debate came from concerns that the current asset declaration law compels public officers to declare the assets of their spouses, something critics argue is unrealistic, intrusive, and inconsistent with cultural realities and constitutional rights.
Anybody that is appointed by the president also has to go through clearance and approval by the National Assembly. So there are enough provisions to ensure that age should not be a barrier.
Another contentious clause is the section that seeks to deny convicted persons under the Act the presidential prerogative of mercy and exclusion. Lawmakers say contradicts the Constitution.
This is based on the assumption the drafter of this act and this particular section is basing it on the assumption that a spouse, be male or female, has a full knowledge and full information, correct information about the assets of his or her spouse.
There was also strong advocacy for updating the asset declaration form itself to include liabilities, improving the evaluation process, and integrating professional bodies with technical expertise.
This bill is aimed to amend the Act, a necessary and timely response aimed at addressing identified gaps and weaknesses.
Lawmakers emphasized that the amendments are necessary to reflect modern governance standards, technological advancements, and Nigeria's evolving legal landscape. The committee assured stakeholders that all submissions will feed into a strengthened anti-corruption architecture. From the National Assembly, Anie Patrick reporting.
The Federal Road Safety Corps has ordered all construction companies operating on roads across the country to ensure adequate placement of road signs at all construction sites. A statement by the Corps' spokesperson, Assistant Corps Marshal Olusegun Ogunbimide, stated that the directive issued by the Corps Marshal Muhammad Shehu is to ensure the safety of the motoring public around construction sites. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET has predicted sunshine and haziness from Monday to Wednesday across the country. NIMET's weather outlook released in Abuja envisaged sunny skies over the entire northern region throughout the forecast period. It envisaged sunny skies with patches of cloud over the entire central region. Now, in a nation where digital technology is expanding at record speed, another industry is growing in the shadows: online scams. From fake investment schemes to romance fraud, the numbers keep rising, and so do the victims. Global Television correspondent Sadia Yakubu reports.
Across Nigeria, certain cities have become hotspots for internet fraud. The tools, laptops, VPNs, foreign numbers, and carefully crafted online personals. Most scammers operate in small groups. They target foreign victims using romance scams, phishing, or fake e-commerce stores. But now, more Nigerians themselves are being scammed, especially through fake investment and crypto schemes shared on social media.
A whole lot of our youths are unemployed and unemployable. You know, they are two different things, but though related. And so by the time there is so much economic pressure on them, you know, to try to meet their basic needs, you know, societal needs and all that, and the resources is not there, they are not earning much. There is this tendency for them to be pressured into going into scam.
From social engineering to fake online love to fraudulent loan app that steal contact and harass users, digital scam operations are becoming more sophisticated and more aggressive.
Some of my colleagues where I know were not working, we graduated almost 3 to 4 years back, serve, and they are still here, you know, no job. When you see somebody or a friend that is into this kind of business, no, you don't need to influence you.
For some young people, online scams have become a shortcut to wealth. Social media glamorizes soft life and flashy lifestyle that fraudsters often display. But behind every stolen dollar is a victim.
If government can do something by provide a conducive environment, especially job for the young people, I think the rate of this crime will be reduced.
Experts warn that the rise of cybercrime damages Nigerians' reputation internationally, reduces investors' confidence, and puts honest digital entrepreneurs at
Now to education, where homeschooling has emerged as a growing alternative for parents seeking more control over their children's learning experience. With digital resources and expanding online platforms becoming more accessible, families are embracing flexible, personalized models that differ sharply from the mainstream school system. Our correspondent, Nafisa Baba, takes a closer look on homeschooling, and that report will come to you in our subsequent bulletin. And now to Kano State, where the government has dismissed widespread rumors suggesting an impending security crisis in the state, insisting that Kano remains calm, stable and fully secured. A statement issued by the Director General, Media and Publicity, Sanusi Ewakin Tofa, says the government noted that no credible intelligence indicates any imminent threat to public peace. The clarification followed a State Security Council meeting attended by all service chiefs, where the Governor, Abba Kabir Yusuf, received a detailed briefing on current security operations across the state. You're watching the live broadcast of the midday of News Express. When News Express returns, National Conservation Foundation partners unveil initiative to combat deforestation. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sport stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back from that break. And now to business news, where the Nigerian Conservative Foundation, Natural Eco Capital and Businesses for Nature have launched a new partnership to combat Nigeria's alarming deforestation rates and promote nature. Hazok's residents protesting Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's request for presidential pardon as he faces ongoing corruption trial. Our correspondent has the details. Protesters say Netanyahu's move is an attempt to escape accountability in a trial that has dragged on for years. They insist that granting a pardon would undermine the rule of law and deepen mistrust in state institutions. Demonstrators also accuse Netanyahu of using political influence to pressure the presidency.
Our message to Herzog is clear. In Israel, Israel is still a democracy, and in a democracy, every citizen, never mind if he's a small citizen or the prime minister, need to put his time in court, and if he has something to, someone is accusing him of something, he needs to prove that he's innocent, and Netanyahu knows that he is not innocent, and this is now he wants to run from his trial.
President Herzog, you need to protect the people of Israel. You do not need to protect the Prime Minister of Israel. Your job is to protect the Israeli democracy, the legacy, to protect us as a great nation. And if you will demolish law and order, this might be the end of the Israeli democracy.
So we are here to explain Herzog that we are not going to accept that. We know that he is the weakest point in this chain. This is why Netanyahu approaches him. But he has to stand still for us, for our kids, and for the way that history is going to remember him.
The rally has intensified public debate over whether the president should intervene in an unresolved legal process. Herzog is now under growing pressure as he considers the highly Now to the exciting world of sport, where Galatasaray and Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen says he is ready to return to the pitch for their crucial Super League match day 14 game against rivals Fenerbahce today. The striker has missed their last 2 matches after sustaining a hamstring injury on international duty with Nigeria. Galatasaray confirmed 2 weeks ago that the forward had begun treatment after undergoing a scan for the knock he picked up during Nigeria's defeat to DR Congo in the final of the 2026 World Cup African Playoffs. Still talking sports, the 2025 High Game Girls Football Championship has kicked off in Abuja with renewed promise for the girl child, as founder and sole sponsor Dr. Pat Ajuma Ayegba unveils plans to expand the fast-growing grassroots tournament nationwide. Our correspondent Anita Patrick reports on a remarkable opening that blends opportunity, ambition, and rising talent.
At the Area 3 Sports Complex in Abuja, the atmosphere was electric as 16 teams marched onto the pitch, each one representing a dream, a hope, and a chance at discovery. The 2025 High Game Girls Championship, running from November 29 to December 6th, has become one of Nigeria's most credible talent pipelines for young female footballers. And once again, founder and sponsor Dr. Pat Ajuma Ayegba is carrying the full financial burden: free jerseys, bibs, balls, logistics, and registration for every team.
I have seen firsthand this football is not just an exciting game, it's something that the girl child can easily use to get their mind off crime, off a lot of abuse and unfair treatment.
Originally as FCT-only event, the championship now covers the entire North Central region, and with growing interest from across the country, Ayegba confirms her game will go nationwide by 2026. Beyond funding and structure, the tournament has already produced tangible results. Last year's most valued player, Queen Joseph, returned as a mentor, fresh from finishing as Nigeria's top scorer at the Morocco 2025 Under-17 Women's World Cup. And on the pitch, defending champions Fosler Academy opened their title defense with a narrow 2-1 win over Hovel Prime. Generation Next dominated the day with a 5-0 victory over Emirates Queens, while SIK Paragon and Bear Ladies also secured the wins.
A huge applause to the organizer of this tournament, because through this, a lot of girls have been motivated.
Organizing committee co-head Moses Bako described the championship as one of Nigeria's most transparent and impactful youth tournaments, with 16 teams competing for only 8 quarter-final slots. Match Day 2 promises even fiercer action, from Emirates Queens seeking redemption to Fosler Academy returning for back-to-back battles. Anita Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
As Global TV News Express comes to an end, here is a recap of our top stories. On Global TV News Express, we brought to you that President Bola Tinubu says the security and welfare of every Nigerian remains the sacred priorities of his government. In business, the Nigerian Conservative Foundation, Natural Eco-Gas Capital, and Business for Nature have launched a new partnership to combat Nigeria's alarming deforestation rate and promote natural-based development. On the foreign scene, you heard that Israelis gathered outside President Isaac Herzog's residence protesting Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's request for presidential pardon as he faces ongoing corruption trials. And in sport, Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen says he is ready to return to the pitch for their crucial Super League match day 14 against rivals Fenerbahce today. That's it on News Express. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using a Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Kasim. Saying a very big thank you for watching.